stay silent, honey.
I know. Birds and Julia are not going to be quiet.
Take 2.
All right. Why, hello.
Hey there.
So, it's been an epic few weeks.
Yeah. I did get a beautiful gift from God today. So,
Do tell.
when we are doing the Divine Mercy Chaplet, I'm holding little Julia, and she just looks up at me, and she burps, like pulls it from the
Like
gutter
a belch?
hole and goes, "Bleh," and comes out. I'm like, only God would give me that because he knew I needed to laugh. And
She
then
belched?
she pooped after that.
Oh.
She belched. Like,
Yeah.
she literally burped herself. I did nothing. She burped herself.
Wow.
I was impressed.
That's a really unusual gift from God.
It
That
made
can
me,
be,
it made me laugh, and it gave me tears of joy.
So we changed up while, I don't know, I think you were at Taekwondo or something. We changed up our evening prayer routine.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been kind of doing like a quasi-examine with the kids. And it is still that, but we started going by the ACTS method, which is adoration, contrition, thanksgiving, supplication. So for adoration, I ask, everyone to share how God blew their mind that day. So that can be your mention for the adoration part of our evening prayer.
That is the one that blew my mind, yes.
How did God blow your mind?
Yep.
I'll have to still contemplate. I mean, it's easy actually with Julia here to think of ways that God is blowing our mind because we've got this little baby and
Indeed.
she constantly blows my mind.
Indeed.
And these chickens are looking for their missing sisters.
Yeah, they're jealous, I think.
You think that's it?
Yeah, they're like, because they can hear them out in the yard.
Oh.
And they're trying to call to them.
Well, I figured that they would do better in the yard if there was more than just the one. So I think 2 at a time is kind of a nice sweet spot for the chickens in the yard.
Hopefully. We'll see if Rosie doesn't lose them.
I know, it's a great deal of trust right now. We have 3 younger children and a dog with 2 chickens.
This
in
is
the backyard.
why we bought extra chickens.
They're not extra. Technically, they're exactly the amount that we're allowed per ordinance.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was going to go extra, and then you kind of poo-pooed that idea.
I thought you did buy extra.
No, I might go extra like others in our neighborhood or above ordinance. Wait for me to get reported. I think as long as we buy off our neighbors with a few eggs, they'll be okay.
I think nobody cares.
I don't think anyone cares either.
Yeah.
I think they just care if chickens smell or if a rooster's waking them up extra early.
Yes. As long as that isn't in the bedroom window of someone's house, we're fine.
I mean, it is kind of... Well, no, I think actually the placement of our coop is equidistant from our house as it is from our 2 other neighbors' houses, our backyard neighbor and our next door neighbor. It's equidistant. Oh my, did one of them accidentally strangle themselves?
No.
So we have these much
looked that
larger chicks. They're like teenage dinosaurs now. They are in a dog kennel, a rather large dog kennel that has...
From my childhood.
Yes, from your childhood. Not from your childhood.
Well, I hung out in it. That was timeouts. That's where they were.
Of course they were. From the childhood rearing of dogs in your childhood home.
Yes.
Yes, the kennel of your childhood. Our chickens are now in.
That's right.
And
I outgrew it.
Yeah, these chickens are just about outgrown this little kennel setup.
Yes.
But, it's worked out quite well. They've gone from kind of larger babies to full-on half of a chicken, about their size, would you say?
Yeah.
Their size is like a half chicken. Hi, baby girl.
Half chicken? a quarter broiler or something?
Yeah. Well, we're not raising broilers, so they'd be eating a different diet if we were.
Oh, okay.
And we're vegetarians, so it'd be kind of weird for us to do that.
It's kind of odd to, think about it. But.
Raising broiler chickens as vegetarians, we just like raising animals to be slaughtered and eaten by other people.
Yes. Some people do, actually.
I mean, yeah, in great quantities.
When you think about it.
I don't think in quantities of 6.
No, probably not.
That'd be
Like 600.
Yeah, people would have mental issues. So it's been an epic few weeks, and I'm Kit.
I'm Dale.
Welcome to Catholic Hitch. We are a Catholic family seeking heaven and hoping to pick up others along the way.
Small talk.
So I would like to actually talk about something that happened to you during Holy Week that challenged the end of my Lent.
Go right ahead.
So my Lenten fast this year was, I have a temper in traffic, and it's not because I'm running behind. It's because other people constantly are breaking the rules in front of my eyes, and I just need to hold them accountable to myself. Again, benefiting no one and constantly dragging my soul down into the nether regions of the world. Not good for anyone. So I was fasting from my anger and hoping that I would be setting up a habit for the rest of my life of being able to not be angry at traffic. And then Holy Week happens.
I'd just say that God gave you a great gift.
Yeah, so I go and take myself and Christina during the week to go get our haircut with Julia, knowing, on a random Wednesday, there's not going to be a lot of people getting their haircut, get in and out. So we're coming back from that, and we are approaching the street that leads to our neighborhood, and there's quite a few emergency vehicles there, such that I can't pull into the street at our neighborhood. And I turn to our daughter in the seat next to me and say, "Oh, I hope your father's not involved in that." And then as we drive past, I see your car is on the tow truck, and I have not gotten a call from you. So I start having a panic attack, and I throw my phone at your daughter and say, "Call your father." And I'm going as fast as I can to safely get around to the other entrance into our neighborhood to try to drive up and see what the heck has happened to you. And you are walking away when I find you.
You were too quick to get your hair done.
I guess.
When I looked at Google, you were still there. And I thought, I have plenty enough time to walk home, take a moment to collect myself, and then call you. That's what I thought. And then I didn't want to freak you out at the hair salon because I didn't want a bunch of women being like, "What's going on?" And a giant gossip wheel that you would be sucked into, which I know you wouldn't want.
I mean, I wasn't anyway. Yes.
Yes. That's what my brain was telling me after I got hit.
And instead, I'm like, my husband isn't picking up the phone. I don't have any text or phone call from him. He's dead. He's dead in the ambulance. He's on his way to the morgue. Because that's just, you automatically go worst case scenario. But anyway, you weren't dead. Praise be God.
Praise be to God.
But the car is dead.
Yeah. So apparently, in just about every new car these days, when your airbag deploys, it's totaled. Period.
Yeah. So do you want to explain what happened?
Oh, sure. So I met Grace and Gabriel on Wednesday. Nice young people that just so happened to be... Grace was driving her father's car, and she seemingly forgot that when you take a right turn, you use your brakes. And so as I was sitting at the light,
just parked at a red light,
waiting to go across because I wanted to go to the bank because I was going to put your check in. And then I was going to go to the thrift store and run to Lowe's all the way in Brighton, and I had a whole laundry list of things I had to get done that day.
You were going to buy the school to drop off a trifold?
Yep, going to go by the school to drop off the trifold. And then I'm looking to the left, and I see this white car coming. And then all of a sudden I see this young woman look at me with the brightest and biggest eyes possible, and then hit me. And I go, "Oh, beep." And I go from pointing my car, what would that be, going west to completely north. It pushed my car that far. My guess is she was going 50, 55 miles an hour. She was speeding a little fast. And she did not apply the brakes. And all the airbags in the Volkswagen that she was driving deployed. She had a little bit of a bloody lip, and she was freaking out. She like could not believe, she was in utter hysteria that this had happened. And my guess is that she probably wasn't supposed to be driving her father's car, the way it was kind of going down. And she was very worried because her father needed his car to get to work and do other things. So I pretty well just kind of helped calm her down and help her make good decisions, because she couldn't even think straight. And her boyfriend, I assume it was her boyfriend, well, let's just say
He was a little too relaxed.
no, let's just say he's not the sharpest tool in the toolbox. He just he didn't quite seem to understand what was going on. And even when he was talking with the officers, he was like, "Oh, thanks for being so cool."
What?
And you guys do a lot, and
a little too relaxed.
a little too relaxed. Yeah. And even when we got to the point of loading the cars onto the what do you call it, the flatbed towaways, he's like, "Well, she could drive that car. It's fine. She could take it to her dad." And I'm like, "Dude, it's leaking fluids all over the place. It's totaled."
He was too relaxed.
He was a little too relaxed. So they were like the opposite ends. They were the dumbbells of each end, of one was just hyper stressed and overwhelmed, and the other one like was too relaxed.
Too underwhelmed.
And didn't seem to understand the surrounding event that was happening.
Well,
Yeah.
God was good to them, because when I got to you, you had walked, 150 feet away from the accident. You were like on the way walking home, basically, because we were still in our neighborhood.
I was.
And if you had not been there, then your hysterical wife would have gone up to you, basically verified that you were okay, and then I would have verbally lambasted, whatever.
Lambasted?
I always say lamblast, but it's wrong.
I think it's lambasted.
Yeah. I would have said a lot to her.
That's right.
Would have gone off about you being the father to 5 children, and that she could have killed you, and
which honestly
she could have killed you.
So luckily
you were in a very small car.
Luckily, I was not in a rush. I was just chilled out.
Yeah.
And I pulled up to the light, and normally I would have been impatient, and I would have either pulled past up
stop.
to the white stripe, or I would have taken the right out of our neighborhood.
Yeah,
And luckily I did not, because when she did hit me, she hit the front fender of the car and not the passenger side door, which is if I had pulled
the driver's side door.
Or the driver's side door. That's where she would have hit me if I'd pulled up further. So when she hit, it busted the whole front of the fender, and bits of plastic were going everywhere. And then because the force was so hard, she hit the first time, and then it hit again. And so the first hit the tire, then bounced, and as we kept with momentum, then she hit the side of the door and rippled where the hinges are. So like when I went to the tow lot to get stuff out of it, you couldn't shut the door. Like you could, but you'd have to push on it because it had bented. Yeah. So needless to say, after I put a new shifter in and new rear lights and got it all fixed.
You did some fixing on the car, and of course now it's totaled.
Yep.
And you're like, at the tow lot where your car goes before it goes to the total scrap yard.
Yes.
And you're clearing stuff out of it, and you're thinking to yourself, I really wish I had my kit with me so I could take all of these things out.
That's what I needed. All I needed was I needed an Allen wrench and a star wrench set, and I would have been fine.
I know.
But
we were both frazzled.
I've never been through this process. I've thinking like, when was the last time I was in an accident? I think I was maybe 17. The last time I was in an accident. And that was me being in a 66 Chevrolet truck, being forced to back down a driveway and not exactly knowing what to do. And I had no backup lights, so somebody pulled in behind me and I ran into them. That was the last accident I was in that I did. Every other accident I've ever been in my life, somebody's hit me.
Well, I guess technically, I still think that I was in the right, but I was cited in Louisiana because I went to turn into a left lane, and there was already someone in the left lane, but they had just been driving down the middle.
They were doing a Michigan lift.
Yes, but it was in Louisiana. And they were kind of driving in the lane before it was a lane. So I didn't check to see if there was a car in the non-existent lane. But because the woman was a Louisiana native 55-year-old woman, and I was an out-of-state college student, they cited me. And I was so frazzled I didn't ever contest. I should have contested it. Because literally I entered the lane as it became a turn lane, and she was already there.
Yeah.
But whatever.
It doesn't matter.
So that is technically my
going
only
back
bad.
to your Lenten fast.
Yes. So I was very angry at this woman, obviously. And I just kind of have been obsessing about it. And it hasn't been good for me. Mm-hmm. And I got to go to confession today, which was awfully nice.
That is good.
And I really need to work on just forgiving her for that.
Yeah.
But is that where you were leading? Yeah, Rosie's doing a switch out of the birds right now.
Just take one, Rosie.
There's a little bit of bird activity in the
one.
background.
Close
the thing, or there's going to be chickens all over our house.
Will escape.
Welcome to our house podcast, friends.
Yeah, so
okay.
That was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday of Holy Week.
Yes. I mean, I got a new wristband for my watch out of it because my watch flew off. Yeah,
the airbag deployed and kind of smacked your arm, and it broke your the watch strap.
I think that's what happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we presume. It's too fast to really know.
Yeah, all I remember is they hit, I cursed, my mouth tasted like a chemical, and then, the horn's going on the car, and the car is still running, so I turn the car off, and then I get out on the passenger side, and I immediately check to make sure they're okay. That's about all I remember of the event, because it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other bummer is my Red album from the band.
It was in there?
Yes.
Oh.
But I can get another CD. It's fine.
I guess you can claim it.
I probably could, but
it's fine. Oh, so we've been dealing a little bit with that, and there's been a whole lot of other stuff happening. So
yeah.
Holy Week, we did Tenebrae all 3 days.
Yes.
And you were on Lector for 2 of those days.
Right. Terrence was the putter outer.
Yep, he's the candle snuffer.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Holy Thursday, Mass of the Last Supper.
That was nice.
It was very nice. And then we went to Good Friday, did the Teen Passion Play.
Passion Play, yes.
The Veneration of the Cross.
Yes, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
And then we, had Tenebrae, of course, on Holy Saturday. And then it was the Vigil.
That's right. So I don't know if you saw it. I can't remember. I mean, everything was a blur. But there was a moment where one of the older gals who's in our parish, I don't know which daughter, but one of her daughters brings her down. She's in a walker, and they put the walker on the side, and she gets down there and she kisses the cross.
Oh.
And gets back up with help, and then goes.
Talking about Rose?
Mm-hmm.
Nice,
Made my day.
Yeah.
Just to see that our parish cares enough to get her down there and then to help her get back up. And everybody came together to do it, and that she wanted to.
That's the model of a good Catholic family right there.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to be.
That was the peak of Holy Thursday. or Good Friday. I'm sorry. Good Friday for me was to see that. And then Saturday, Tenebrae again, and then the Easter Vigil. Mm-hmm. And you had 5 kids
enter the church.
Yes, and we had 26 total.
25, and then there was an additional that was just confirmed, but they had a family member that was being baptized, so they got special, I think, dispensation to confirm as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because you have to get that special dispensation to do a confirmation at the vigil. So Yeah, it was. That was a big night.
Yeah.
It was an almost 3-hour mass.
Yeah.
So we got home about midnight or so.
Yeah.
Had our traditional pot au chocolate.
That was
I
yummy.
make. Yum.
There was another fun miracle. So I think it was Thursday morning for Tenebrae. Father was there, and a woman comes to Tenebrae, and she had not been to the church in, I don't know, it was like 40 some odd years. And it just so happened to be the time that Father was there, and she came, and now she came back. I can't remember if she got a confession or not, but
I think she got to talk to him.
she got to talk to him, and really, like, the fact that she's coming back. And it just so happened that was the one day that Father was able to make it,
Yeah.
which is great that he was able to make it, because they have so much that they do.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine when Easter is done that night, you just go home and you pass out. I mean, it's like the biggest day of the year for a priest or a deacon. There's just so much that they're doing, and it's joyous, but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, so that was another wonderful event.
Holy Week miracle.
Yeah. You know, because Tenebrae is not like you're going to mass. It's this thing that some people kind of know about, some people don't, and she just was like, "Yeah, I want to check it out." Okay.
Awesome.
Which is pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah, and then Easter Day, we had our little Rosie. She was in the children's choir.
Yes.
And they sang 2 songs during the Eucharist, not during communion.
Yes, during communion.
Not the Eucharist.
Yes, which
prayer
it
or
was
anything.
the tactical one time when parents don't completely get distracted because they're doing something while they're singing, which is brilliant, I say.
Yeah, it was very well done. She did a great job. The kids were cute and they sang really well.
Yes.
And then there's going to be another performance for Mother's Day, so we'll get that
Oh,
again.
okay, cool.
And then you served at the 12:30.
Yes.
So it was like a very full day. And then we had a very simple Easter supper that evening. We had 20 in our house.
Yeah.
So we had friends in town.
That's right.
Who are in another state now. So they came through and they spent, they came by, for Easter supper with us. They had some family time earlier in the day. So we got to see them, our goddaughter in their midst. So we had 2 of our goddaughters, together for Easter, which was really nice. My sister and her family. Nice. Yeah, we had our other good friends that we love to have over for holidays. They were there as well. Mm-hmm. So they brought chocolates and cheese from Europe.
That's right.
Epic.
It has been epic.
Yeah.
Been eating on that all week. So is our daughter, our oldest.
Oh, we're supposed to have cheese and fruit for dinner tonight.
Well, not today. She's been eating on it all week.
I know.
Because when I cleaned up.
But is there going to be any left?
Yeah, there's still chocolates left.
No. Oh, not chocolates, cheese.
Oh,
you've been eating the chocolates.
No, she's been eating the chocolates.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been too.
Like the little squares.
Yes.
So she had at least a good dozen of them.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You need to get that girl on a treadmill.
It's called martial arts, honey.
I know. So it's been a busy few weeks. We could not fit it in for Easter with the podcast. So this is our little catch up.
Happy Easter. He is risen.
He is truly risen. And today we had a baptism.
The baptism.
So
she smells so good.
She does. On to
Big Talk. That was a good snap.
That was a good snap. It's an invisible snap for our audio only listeners. It's how I demarcate where I need to splice up the audio in order to insert our bumper, because we don't have a cool control panel that inserts the bumper while we're going.
They have such things?
Yeah, they have mixing boards. And then I think you can attach 2 mics. So part of what makes our podcast less enjoyable to listen to is we're like speaking into 1 mic instead of 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I get to look into your eyes.
Thank you. Well, right now you're far away, so I'm shifting this.
I know, but
closer to you.
Okay, I'll move her closer. We have a guest on the show.
One of the newest members of the Catholic Church.
And she smells good.
Oh, yeah. We bathed her this morning so that hopefully we don't have to bathe her for a couple days, so we can just walk up to her head and smell chrism oil.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a baptism on Divine Mercy Sunday.
Yeah. And it was 4 babies.
4 babies.
Well,
she was the littlest.
Yeah, I would say 2 babies and 2 toddlers.
If we're going to be really specific, yes.
Might as well.
They were cute.
They were.
So this was the first time that our church has done a baptism in Mass in 4 years, maybe 5 years even. Has to be 4 years.
At least 4 years. It was 2019, I think, or probably 2019
for sure.
Yeah.
Was the last one.
Yes. It's been a while.
It's been a while. So
not that we've haven't had baptisms, they just haven't been during Mass.
Yeah, not during Mass. Yes, that's a good clarification. So we've had like community baptisms on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, and on Sundays. I have seen them.
Oh, I guess in the afternoon.
Yeah, after our Mass, there have been a couple of baptisms in the Cenacle room.
Oh.
Yes, they set it up next to the statue of Mary and Joseph and Jesus, and yeah.
I guess I enjoyed today a lot. I was slightly bummed to have to share her baptism day because with 3 of our other children, they got their own little exclusive baptism during Mass. But that was when baptisms during Mass were like very accessible and very common.
Vogue.
Yeah, so you would just kind of request a baptism at whatever Mass you wanted, and they'd make it happen. It sounds like we're going to be making baptisms exclusive to the 12:30 Mass, which is great for us because we go to the 12:30 Mass, so we get to enjoy baptisms all the time.
Did you notice how many babies were there today?
There's a lot of babies.
It was awesome. There were so many babies cooing and crying, and it was great.
Yeah.
I haven't heard this in years. It was so wonderful.
So it was really nice. We got to see all these families welcoming their children into the church, and they all did really well with their baptisms. And our pastor, who had to refresh himself on the rite after probably not doing it for a while during Masses because of COVID and everything, he did a great job. It was such a joyful Mass.
Okay. You're okay. We'll clean it up here in a minute, okay?
It was kind of interesting. So during...
It's not bleeding anymore. It's fine. You just got to scratch.
If it's not bleeding, it didn't cut to the dermis, baby.
You're okay. I can see it. Yes.
It's just the epidermis.
Okay. You're okay. Why don't you tell Terrence to help you get a Band-Aid on? Okay?
For posterity later.
I know.
Anyway, it was right before we went back for the baptismal rite.
I don't need a Band-Aid.
Oh, okay. Then go back outside and play more.
Well, usually it hurts a really lot.
Does it right now?
Yeah.
It hurts a lot right now.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any blood.
Okay.
Does it hurt?
Well, maybe you should put socks and shoes on.
Yeah.
No?
Are you an android?
Yes.
You know we're podcasting right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we asked you.
My bed.
No negotiations for the iPad. Go back outside, both of you. Go play with a chicken outside. Seriously. Life's so hard. We make you go outside and play.
68-degree sunny day.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather, no wind. Man, what a difficult life they live.
Yeah, so I don't seem to understand why is it when it's like 20 degrees outside, our kids wear t-shirts and shorts. But when it's, 70 degrees and beautiful outside, they wear like parkas.
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
It's a conundrum.
It is wrapped in enigma.
It is.
Yeah. So where were we?
I was about to mention, so Father, he was saying prayers, like petition prayers for saints who shared names of the children. And it was kind of funny. Did you notice that he beatified someone accidentally?
He did, didn't he?
He did. So he said, "Blessed Julia Greeley," and I was like, oh.
Venerable, right?
No, not even that. She's servant of God.
Oh, servant of God.
I think she
That's
will
right. We've talked about that before.
Yeah. I'm certain she's in heaven. But we also, have Katerina for St. Catherine. But I definitely was like, oh.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I think it's just he's presuming what we already kind of know in our heart, which that she is in heaven. but the church hasn't quite found her there. So that one was like a little bit of a smile/wince moment for me. And I was like, oh, I guess I didn't make that totally clear. All right, here comes another chicken.
Just leave the door open.
This is our house now.
Okay, just...
There's chickens and dogs and babies
I
and
know.
plants growing and plants dying in cold frames, being cooked to death/frozen to death.
Okay, careful, Rosie.
Oh, Rosalina. This is not good podcast content. So,
yeah, I'm sorry. It's a distraction seeing our daughter hanging out of a cage trying to get chickens.
yep, they're good at running away from
with
her.
a baby. So, Mass was great.
Mm-hmm.
We had 330 people
Nice.
that were there. We had cake for 300, which I think was probably more like cake for 500.
Because they cut it really small. I'm like, no!
Yeah. So our children, I think, all had three apiece.
2 or 3.
Yeah. And literally anybody that came by, I'm like, hey, there's cake. You want some? I was like a cake dealer.
You were like a cake dealer.
Yeah. There were a bunch of the boys outside that are in my youth group. I'm like, hey boys, what are you doing? Oh, you're here for the birthday party? Yeah. You want some cake?
So you did exactly what they say kidnappers do?
Yeah, I did. And I gave them all cake. I'm like, only one piece. Just one.
The safe environment trainer in me frowns upon this.
There were other people around. I wasn't like had them in a room.
Come into my van.
Hey, come get some cake for me. It's not that.
So, part of the vision that I had with Julia's baptism, or any of our children's, I guess before we knew whether we were having a boy or a girl, is we wanted to kind of share the moment with our parish community, especially since 12:30 is like really our mass to go to. So we brought cake. We got 6 half-sheet cakes, which was enough to feed 300. But what you said was the pieces were sliced a little bit small, and so we probably did have more than 300 pieces out. We have a whole half sheet left for our family, which I think we're going to enjoy some of tonight, along with cheese and fruit.
Yeah, I think it's still in the back of the van, actually.
Oh.
I forgot about it.
Ooh, we should probably
It's
wrap
fine.
so that you can get it.
It's good.
It's going to be melted.
It's just slightly buttery.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Julia's name will be like on it.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Blessed be the name of the Lord.
There's a lot going on. As you can tell, this is probably the noisiest and most interrupted podcast we have ever done.
Yeah, people stick through this and they're really dedicated.
I guess you must like our lives. So
Or it's penitential.
maybe that could be it too. You could, if you need penance in Easter season, sure, listen to us. Yeah. Well, if you've got any thoughts, send us a line, catholichitch@gmail.com.
May the Lord guide and direct our journey.
Amen.
Oof. Nothing has ever been quite so loud.